Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. This is podcast 126, 126 podcasts. That's crazy. Never thought we'd get that far. Anyways, this is the Paranormal News Podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the host of the Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. I am also the founder and lead investigator of Deep Woods Paranormal. Along with my wife, Amanda, we investigate everything paranormal. Say Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, haunted locations, river monsters, lake monsters, cryptid creatures, you name it. If it's strange or unusual or paranormal nature, we will take a look at it. We're actually kind of beginning to shift over to Bigfoot research. As I talked about in the last podcast, we're going to be putting together a Bigfoot show. And I'm working on the details. I've been working on it for about 6 months, kind of why I haven't had a whole lot of time. There's a lot that goes into it. If you'd like to be a part of it, you want to help out in some way, let me know. Our contact information is down below in the description. My email, my cell phone number is there. Our website, you can contact us through our website, whatever. I'm not going to get into all that again. All right, so today we're going to talk about paranormal news. So let me share the screen with you. All right, so that's out of the way. All right, bear with me. Okay, so everybody keeps asking us, where are you at? What platforms are you on for the audio podcasts? If you're listening to the audio podcast, our main account is Speaker, and that's actually iHeartRadio. You can come on here. It's speaker.com /show/deep, dash woods paranormal podcast. Now, don't worry. That link will be down in the description down below. You won't have to remember that. We also have video podcasts, and of course, all of our shows are here. So you can come on here and you can look through the description. All of our links are in here for you. And then all of our shows are down below. We have, like I said, this is podcast 126. Feel real special. We did 125 yesterday. We'll have another one out later on this afternoon, probably, or even evening. The Bigfoot only podcast will be coming out. And then, of course, we have the Deep Woods Paranormal YouTube page. Again, links down below in the description. You can come on here. We have not only our podcast, we have investigations, Bigfoot, UFO, ghost hunting, and stuff like that for you guys to watch. You can see our playlist. We have a lot of different playlists. We've been to a lot of different places, Amanda and I, over the last 30 years. We've investigated in America, Scotland, Ireland. Where else have we investigated? We've been in a few other countries. Never investigated in Canada or Mexico, but I've been to both. And so, yeah, we've been around for a long time doing a lot of different places. I've talked about that a million times in here. We're also over here on Rumble. If you want to come visit our Rumble page, again, that'll be down in the description. You can see all of our podcasts and stuff like that. This page right now is mainly podcasts. I just started this page. I was honestly surprised when I started posting stuff, and a lot of people started to come on here and actually view our videos. Because I put up like 10 of them. We're averaging like 2 to 3. Now we're up to 95, 118, 210. Thank you very much. 241, 136, 140, 130. So you can just see this is where basically I switched over to putting the different podcast names out here for you guys to see. So you can go through that. If you're just listening to this podcast, again, description is down below. I'll try and be as descriptive as I can about what we're going to watch and listen to. And again, you guys can click on the links. All the links to everything we're going to visit today will be down in the description for you guys to go review on your own. All right, so let's go over here. We've been working with Manscaped now for probably about a couple months. Really, really like their products. And unfortunately, I don't have a product to show in my hand, but I do have this beard trimmer. I'm sorry, this beard and, down there trimmer, if you will. This one over here, I'm sorry. I do have the down there deodorant. I have other stuff like that. But they sell beard conditioner, beard shampoo. I also have the nose hair trimmer, which I really like, and a few other products. And I'll bring these on here maybe tomorrow or later on tonight. It's what 1:40 in the morning. So, anyways, I'm home a little early from work, so I'm just doing a podcast. But if you'd like to come over here to the Manscaped products, they're really awesome. Really like them. Use the code DWP, get you a nice discount. All right. Then also, if you're looking for a place to find all of our stuff, it's the deepwoodsparanormal.com is our website. We have our podcasts here, so you can listen to all our podcasts. They're all current. Basically, you can listen to them, or if you want to watch them, you can come over here. We also have YouTube on here as well, linked in here. And then again, I gotta switch this maybe tomorrow or later today when I have some time. We'll be putting up public events, and I said, that's the only thing on there right now is the jail. We're gonna do a public Bigfoot expedition. We're going to be doing a event with a friend of mine, a Bigfoot event. So I know people have Bigfoot on the brain, and that seems to be what you guys really want us to talk about and stuff like that. So we will be talking about that. I mean, having events with that as well. And like I said, we're putting together the show. So anyways, if you want to come on here, you're welcome to. And then if you guys want to buy us a coffee, we'd appreciate it. It just helps support us and helps us get us to our goal of $2,000. Again, we're trying to upgrade our gear. We're trying to buy a new camera, and that would help us very much if we could get to that $2,000 mark. In the future, we're going to be looking for sponsors for the show and stuff like that. So it should be fun. You might see some people on there. If you follow Bigfoot and you're on Facebook and other places, you might see some people coming onto that show. We're going to be kind of rotating people in and out and having different people on there as guests, investigators. And it's gonna be fun. I'm working on putting it together, and then we'll have some teasers come out here shortly. So probably in the next 2 or 3 months. Let's get into the news. All right, so it's not really necessary news. It's just things that happened. This is basically me just talking about paranormal stuff. I call it paranormal news. So, all right, let's see. The Conjuring house sold, spelled SOUL apostrophe D for $1.5 million, way over the asking price, which is cool. Let's listen to this real quick. Let me move my mic over so you guys can hear this. This is from the movie.
It's a beacon for other spirits.
Annabelle Comes Home is the 3rd chapter in the Annabelle franchise, and it's in theaters right now, which means get ready for more scares from our favorite sinister doll. And you should know I have a very, very...
Okay, so they're talking about Annabelle, which is a movie. It's about a haunted doll, and yes, we do have haunted dolls sitting behind me. Tomorrow, I keep calling it tomorrow. Later today, I'm going to try and get the office organized. I got to go through and separate this hair from all these branches and stuff like that and get them in test tubes for my Bigfoot fans. We'll be doing that live. Oh, no, maybe not live, but we'll be doing a video on that so you guys can watch and enjoy us trying to untangle it and put it into tubes, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with it, where we're going to send it off to see if we can get some hair samples tested and see if they come back with anything other than what we already know. Anyways, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. It says a Rhode Island farmhouse that was the real life setting for a story that inspired the 2013 horror movie The Conjuring sold for more than $1.5 million, 27% above the original asking price. It says the colonial era home was the site of an alleged haunting that plagued the Perron family in the 1970s. The details of their accounts are dramatized for director James Wan's beloved flick. So it says The Conjuring depicts a family moving into their dream home in Rhode Island, but soon they find themselves haunted by supernatural activity The family hires paranormal investigator Ed and Lorraine Warren to deal with the malevolent, malevolent, and violent spirits. I've seen this. This is a great movie. If you're into ghosts and into stuff like that, it is overdone. I'm not gonna lie. It's a movie. It's a fun movie. It's really entertaining. It's really fun to watch. It is a little scary, but it's cool. They did a really good job with that movie. All of the Ed and Lorraine movies are good. What is that called? The Conjuring. All the Conjuring movies are good. So, anyways, that was just interesting to me. All right. So it says terrifying drone footage shows ghost of black-eyed girl stalking walkers near forest. I've actually seen the video of this. I thought it was pretty interesting. And I got a dog growling at me for attention. So it says the footage captured by Canuck Chase has people believing it could be the ghost that is said to haunt the area. It says a terrifying clip has emerged of a ghost of a black-eyed girl who stalks walkers near a UK forest. The drone captured footage, which seems to match descriptions of paranormal sightings since the 1980s. It says the Mirror. The Mirror reports that the image was taken in Canuck Chase, Staffordshire. Excuse me, it's almost 2:00 in the morning. I'm a little tired here. Where a number of sightings of the ghost girl have been reported. In the wake of the footage being released, professional ghost hunters have now said the clip could be the proof of supernatural activity in the area. So that's cool. You can read the rest of this. Again, the link will be down in the description. There's actually a video of this, and it just basically shows a drone flying by and basically the girl looking up. Now, again, could this be fake? Maybe somebody just wanted a hoax and get some clicks and stuff like that, but who knows? Again, on these podcasts, you have to take this with a grain of salt. This is just me reporting stuff that's out there. And you basically have to make up your own mind. If it's real, if it's fake, go ahead and come back here and read the article for yourself and then, form your own opinion. If you've had stranger things happen and you want us to talk about it on the news, just put it in the description of our YouTube page, our Rumble page, or basically on our podcast page. Or you can send me an email. You can text me. You can call me. You can basically go onto our website and send us a message there too. So again, we're always looking for people to come on the podcast and tell their story. There is no judgment. We don't want anybody judging people on here. And if you do have an opinion, that's great. Everybody has their own opinion. This channel's really cool because we have both skeptics and believers, and we have people that are kind of in between. They're kind of on the fence. And what's cool about that is basically, we just want you guys to look at what we're presenting and then basically make up your own mind. But we don't want people arguing over it, because there's really no proof one way or other that paranormal activity is real. There's proof, but I mean, it's up to people to make up their own minds. So let's move on. Okay, so this says family claims their new home is haunted as they smell rotten eggs and hear girl crying. So if you're watching the podcast, you can see a family basically all dressed in black. I'm sure this was staged. Looks like a creepy girl. Oh, we got an ad. Got a creepy girl in a case here. Looks like another haunted object below it, another haunted object, and another really creepy doll at the very bottom. I don't know if I'd want that one in my house. One on the top is cool. But anyways, so they're basically maybe experiencing demonic activity in the house. I don't know if these dolls and these items are really actually in their house. But let's read about it. It says the family all have a deep love for all things spooky. Says the family have claimed that their new home is haunted as they smell rotten eggs and hear a girl crying. Says John Paul Kennedy and his partner Kimmy Jeffrey are putting up cameras to capture their home's spooky moments. It says the family are fascinated with the ghostly feel of the property that they moved into in September 2022. It says Wales Online reports that the couple's two young children, Snow, 10, and Pebble, 6, are just as interested as their parents. John is a teacher from Cheshire. Geez, I'm sorry. I am really struggling with this. Cheshire said he thought there was a gas leak because it smelled like rotten eggs. We called an engineer out and he couldn't find a leak. Suddenly, the smell just vanished. Sulfur smells can be associated with demons. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, yeah, they basically, this is creepy. This doll is creepy as heck. Those poor kids. But that's cool. No, that's cool that they're growing up in a paranormal family. I would love that as a kid. But look at this little doll. It either doesn't have any eyes or basically it basically has black eyes. Looks like somebody took a baby doll and painted it all white and then put a white like outfit on it. And then, of course, the little girl on the left here is holding what looks like just a regular doll. And then the other little girl has a couple of stones in her hands. I've talked about stones before. They're protective stones. If you guys are interested in that, we can basically maybe go into that later. I have a friend that does stones and she does protective work and stuff like that. So, okay, let's move on. So it says, celebrity help. My house is haunted. Lawrence Bowen, Llewellyn Bowen. She says, my house is haunted. My house is haunted team where, so basically it's the My Haunted Houses team. They went back into a celebrity's home. In this episode, blah, 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 blah. They visit the home of an interior designer and television personality, Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen. Excuse me if I mispronounced that. And it's a 17th century manor house located in Cotswold. So Lawrence's home has a reputation for being haunted, and he's eager to find out whether there's any truth to the rumors. While he hasn't personally experienced anything supernatural in the house, his wife and visitors have reported strange occurrences over the past 15 years of them living there. As I said, blah, blah, blah. So this gets into the episode. I'm not going to get into this, but this is kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen this episode, but I don't want to talk too much about it because YouTube censors things, and this portion might be just completely blotted out. All right, so we're going to try this. I've never tried. So we're going to watch some TikTok videos, and I don't know if YouTube's going to ban them or not. We'll find out. But this is just different paranormal activity. This is kind of ghostly activity. I want to see if I can blow this up. Okay, so I can't blow this up. Okay, so what you're seeing is basically a mom, her youngest baby, who's probably 2 or 3. He's just probably able to walk now. And then she has an older son, probably, at least 9 or 10 or older. There's a baby seat with a little tray, and it looks like there was a bottle on there, and basically looks like a bedroom of some sort. Maybe they're in a hotel or something, or maybe a condo or something. I'm not sure if this is in the United States, but strange things start to happen. Watch as this thing flies off this looks like a bottle flies off the tray of the baby seat. And then over here, you start to see strange things happen with the door. So let's watch this. Okay. So if you're watching this in the doorway of what looks like the bathroom or maybe a kitchen or something like that, there's a black hooded head that pops down just about to where the shoulders would be, looking into the room from the top of the doorway. And then basically the baby's bottle flies off, or maybe it was baby's toys, flies off of the tray. And this continues. So let's continue to watch. See the head?
Oh my God.
She saw it. There it is again. Woo. Okay. As I'm showing you this, it just got freezing cold on my right side. Like somebody's here. You can see the goosebumps all up and down my arm, I think. Hopefully. Yeah, there's just goosebumps all down my. Now, this arm doesn't have any. This arm does. This stupid thing. Yeah. So interesting. Let's keep watching. So she goes into the bathroom looking to see what it was. She grabs the baby and she's in there. And then, okay, so now the door has closed. So now the door is closed on her and the baby, and the other son, who's basically trying to figure out what's going on, has just gotten off the bed and he walks around the corner to the door closing, and he's now freaking out. So you can hear him banging on the door, trying to get in, just screaming. Okay, so that video was in Spanish. Again, these are all TikTok videos. The links will all be in the description below for you guys to go through and listen to or click on and watch if you want. I will post these down below. Let me keep going. Here's another one. It looks like the same family, just a different angle. This time the baby's chair and tray are not there. He looks like he's sitting with his brother here on the bed. They're watching some kind of TV, and essentially this little doll thing starts moving around. Now, on the other one, I didn't basically play devil's advocate. So in the last video, you saw the head kind of come down a couple of times. That could have been faked by either CGI, or it could have been essentially somebody maybe behind the door, pushing something down, to make it look like, or somebody just off screen with some kind of pole or something. That would have been really hard to fake, to be honest with you. So, and then the door slamming. Yeah, the door was not completely in view. She could have turned around and slammed that door, but her reaction tells me that's probably real. She was scared. You see her look and see the head pop down, and her eyes just kind of go, oh, she just gets this look on her face. And so finally she grabs her son in a defensive move, pretty much, to protect her child, and walks over there to see what the heck's going on. And then the door slams on her, and then both her son and her cannot get the door open. So that's kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I don't speak very good Spanish. My wife does. But if you have a translation to what she's saying, we'd love to hear it in the comments down below on our YouTube channel or our Rumble channel. All right, so let's keep going. So it says the baby loves possessed toys. So watch the little doll. And he's just laughing as it's moving around on its own. Okay. So I guess the older brother's not paying attention. He's watching TV. He's not watching when the little kid is seeing. He's he's basically just ignoring it. And then all of a sudden he sees the doll actually moving, and he starts to freak. So that's pretty interesting to me. So I that it looks like the same person's account. I just went on here and basically looked through different paranormal stuff to see what I could find. But this, the only thing I can think of is, if it's on a string, it twists around a couple of times, and that would be very hard to do, unless you were like way over it. You'd have, I don't know where they would stand in here, because they've done a good job of showing you the whole room. It'd be very hard for somebody to be basically against this wall holding a string, and I mean, you'd have to have a really long pole and stuff. The only other thing I can think of to debunk this, I hate that word, find an alternative explanation, is that basically somebody's in some kind of a green suit, and they're basically moving this around on the bed, and the baby's just enjoying it. But why would the kid freak out like that? I think the kid would be more than likely watching the person that's doing it, the older brother. And then also there's items on the floor. This guitar, this baby, this plastic guitar, you probably would have a hard time not stepping on that if you were moving this around. Plus, you have to kind of lean onto the bed because it moves all the way over to them. That's a long distance. You have to have 3 or 4 foot arms. I don't know many people with really long arms like that. All right, so let's move on. So this lady's deciding to make a quick lunch. It says, when the ghost is trying to help you make lunch. So essentially, it looks like she's got some good-looking burritos here. She's got some fruit and a few other things. And she goes to the cupboard to get something. So let's watch this. Now, she obviously knows that the camera's facing her, but she doesn't look like she expects anything to happen. She looks like she's like doing a tutorial or doing maybe just a TikTok video. It says the Hamley family. So she goes around the corner here to open the cupboard, probably to a pantry door, and watch her eyes. Just watch her eyes. So she's in the pantry. She grabs something, closes the door. So now she's opening up a thing of Oreos. And the door flips back open. Look at her face. She doesn't look like she's expecting that to happen. Okay, so as you're sitting here, you see the door start to close. And you just see the look on her face like, oh my God. She's like, okay. Now, let's look and see where she is. So to open that door, you can't quite see her arm, but you can see most of her. Sorry, makes the mic's a little far away. Sorry about that. So when she goes back around the corner to put the Oreos away back in the pantry, you can see her standing here. You can see most of her upper torso, her body. You can't see her left arm, and her right arm you can see all the way down to the elbow. So, I mean, could somebody be sitting on the other side of the door there and be flipping that open? Yes, but it would be hard for it to be flipped closed. So that's a pretty cool catch. I have a friend that caught a bunch of cabinet doors opening, and that's more like poltergeist activity. So let's watch the rest of this. So she puts the Oreos away, closes the door, walks back. Now she's presenting the meal. Okay. So that's pretty interesting. Again, all the links will be in the description below. Where are my Bigfooters? My Bigfoot family. This one's for you guys. So it says Bigfoot attracted by cat food on security camera goes ballistic. It says on November 20th, 2016, I put out warm milk for some stray cats. I caught this young Bigfoot or dog man attracted to the warm meal on my security camera. Now, the last time I was up at Joe's camp, and you probably heard talking about Joe's camp on the Bigfoot Only podcast a million times now. We actually set out a bunch of sweets because David's had a lot of luck. His friend Joe's friend David's had a lot of luck. He's also a Bigfoot researcher up there. He's part of our kind of our connections now up there, and we're always trying to get more people involved in the East Texas area to give us more information, report anything that they're experiencing, Bigfoot wise and stuff like that. So this lady basically left out like a warm treat for the cats. It looks like there's snow on the back porch or deck or whatever this is, and there's a metal bowl with some liquid in it. Let's watch this, whatever this is, kind of creep up to it and then maybe even lick the bowl. So let's watch. So this is on two legs. Now it's bending down. So essentially it creeps up on two legs. Looks like it comes from like a walkway or something. And it basically is on two legs. It's crouched down, kind of like trying to sneak up on the bowl itself. And then it basically goes down on both knees and bends over on its elbows with its forearms kind of into the snow, and then puts its head down in the bowl to drink. So my first thoughts when I'm looking at this could be a person in a costume. So this looks interesting. I mean, this looks more like a dog than a Bigfoot. But when Bigfoots are young like this, they don't look anything like a normal Bigfoot. They look a lot different. I've actually seen one from a distance. Unfortunately, I didn't have a camera in my hand at that point in time. Well, I did, but you couldn't see it. You couldn't quite make out what it was. It just looked like a bush, a small bush, very bushy like thing. It just looked like a big round, because I think it squatted down and it basically put its arms down around its knees, kind of like this one's doing. I think it kind of did what this is doing, and basically sat there and watched me walk by. And unfortunately, it was near some brush, so it just basically blended right into the bush. But I didn't know it was a Bigfoot until it actually stood up and walked backwards and disappeared. So hold on, let's keep watching this. Okay, so now essentially as it's finishing licking its bowl, now it's stood up and it sees the camera. So now it's walking over to the camera to check out the camera. All right, so if you notice this right here, this is why I think it could be a person in a suit. If you noticed right here where the pecs would be, like the pectoral muscles, there's a very defined line that comes down through the chest and shows the pecs. And then down below that, if you watched, it looked like the material kind of folded out into, like a piece of clothing would if you're sitting. And then also the face too. Look at the face. Now, this is very good. You see the hair blowing in the wind. So this is the other side of the paranormal. This is where you go, okay, well, maybe it's not fake. Look at the eyes. I mean, if I'm looking down at my puppy here, his eyes, he has the same kind of fur growing over the top of his nose and then curling back towards his eyes. That's Zeus. And one of these days I'll pick him up and I'll show you what he looks like if he'll sit still for 5 minutes. But anyways, what I really like too is you see the teeth. You see some kind of canines here. Yeah, you could fake that, but I mean, why would you do this? Why would you creep up to somebody's house in the middle of the night with a costume on, look out of a bowl that you don't know, where that's been or what's in it, and then basically look up at the camera like this and show yourself off, basically? I mean, this could be an elaborate hoax or it could be real. So what I like about this too, look at the nose. The nose looks just like my dog's nose. The fur seems to be kind of flapping, and there looks like there's some kind of ears here. This could be a juvenile dog man, maybe. It's got kind of a defined snout. It looks different than a Bigfoot. It's got basically hair all along the face. Only places there isn't hair is actually on the very tip of the nose, like a dog would have, and around the eyes. Eyes look like they don't have fur. Again, if you'd like to watch this video, please come on to the YouTube channel or onto our Rumble channel, and you can check it out here. Let's keep watching. You can see the hair blow in the wind, and then it basically picks up the bowl. Okay, so let me stop it here. If you look here, this is why I also think it's a suit. Look how the fur comes down, and it's not tapered at all. You can't make out any muscles. And this person is sliding around like they're in tennis shoes. This to me looks like the back of a tennis shoe. And here too, you kind of see the rubber front of a shoe. I wish I could zoom in on this. It almost looks like Converse or something. You can almost see like the laces crossed, and you see them slipping and sliding around on here. Also, the footprints too. The footprints don't look like a Bigfoot footprint. Now, dogmen, I've never seen a dogman's footprint, but they're supposed to have more like canine looking like feet. They're not supposed to have human-like feet, from what I understand. They're kind of long stretched out, and they have more of a claw at the end, like a normal dog. So, am I sold on this video? Yes and no. It's interesting and has some things that I go, oh yeah, that's got to be real. And then there's other things that I'm looking at and I'm going, but wait. So, I don't know. Like I said, you guys have to make up your own mind. I would like to see this blown up to normal, like a full screen, so I can look at things better. But again, you guys are welcome to come on here. I'll leave the link below. Okay, again, for my Bigfoot fans, this is real giant caught on video in Mexico. And what you're seeing is basically what looks like a rocky outcrop with a cave and some big hairy thing kind of standing in the entrance to the cave. It's covered with hair. It does kind of look like a Bigfoot. Well, let's watch this and see what it does. So what immediately catches my attention is this person has his camera zoomed all the way in. Now, if I'm looking at this, I'm seeing different colors. To me, it looks like if you go right about here, either this person has a long sleeve shirt on, or they basically, or it could be the back of a Bigfoot. It looks like this thing's actually looking the other way into the cave. But okay, so let's play devil's advocate with this. This looks like maybe some kind of hoodie. You can see the upside down, U-shaped hood almost. It looks like the bottom of the figure is a different color, and the arms also look like they're a different color from either the chest or the back. Can't really make out much of a head. Can't really make out the legs that much, but they're the bottom half of this figure are a lot darker. Now, this also could be CGI'd into here. But let's watch the rest of this. Okay, so that's better. All right, so what you see is you see what looks like it snap. Let me see if I can crop back in on that portion of it. Right there. Okay, so now as I look at this, I see more of a like arms stretched down to the wherever it has a hand, it has its hand or like knuckles on what looks like a rock, or maybe it's an open palm. On this side, it looks like it's down on all fours. On this side, it also looks like the same thing. This thing on the bottom now, to me, looks more like dirt or some kind of rocky outcropping. And then basically this is on all fours. And if you look at it, the head like pops down and it retreats back into the cave. So let's watch this one more time. And then he zooms back out. So that's, whoa, okay. So that thing's pretty far away. It looks like it's actually bringing something out of the cave, maybe rocks or something, and dumping them outside the cave, which a human would probably do if they're trying to clean something. So I don't know. Is this real? Again, I'm about 50-50 on this. It's up to you guys to make up your own mind as to what you guys think. Let's move on. All right, so this is Shiver Stories. It says, "Is this the best Bigfoot footage out there?" So it says, "For anything strange, paranormal, and scary." So let's hit play.
Bigfoot footage out there. In 2001 in British Columbia, a man called Harley Hoffman captured what he claims to be the best Bigfoot footage after the famous Patterson video. However, the Patterson footage is known all over the world. This cannot be said for the footage of Hoffman, which he finally uploaded in 2006. The video is incredibly clear and a Bigfoot-like creature can be seen walking away from the camera. If this is a man in a suit, it is incredibly well made.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it there. Supposedly, I remember hearing about this guy's story. I've actually seen the video on other places and on other shows. What I like about this, look at the definition in this arm. You can see muscles. You can see a muscle here. You can see a muscle kind of tapering down, another muscle here in the fur. You can't see quite much of a head, but you can see the back muscles as well as it's moving, and they're moving with the creature. Unless you really tapered this to a person's body, and you could see, and they were basically, naked underneath this thing, and somehow it was like skin tight, and you could actually see the physical muscle moving with this. I mean, this suit would probably cost $100,000 to make. It'd be a really expensive 30, 40, 50 grand at least. So let's keep watching this.
Do you think? If you enjoy stories that make some six.
So let's go back here. Okay.
Is...
Whoops. These things never stop when you want them to. Okay. So now you can kind of see the head, cone shaped, no neck. And basically it looks like it has a lot of fur coming down, almost like a beard. So let's see if we can get this to the next. Now, if I'm playing devil's advocate, actually, it looks like there's something else standing back here as well, above the creature. Now, that could be nothing. The video is a little blurry. They've zoomed way the heck in, which it sucks because it makes everything else look distorted. You can see how blurry this is. But this was taken a long time ago. I don't think this gentleman's still alive. But he was very reputable. He had seen something one day in this area, and he kept coming back because he wanted to get proof of it. And this guy was very, very adamant and very, I can't think of the word, but he was very passionate. That's what I was looking for. He was very passionate about Bigfoot, and he had the opportunity one day, and he caught it on camera. So, I mean, this could be fur, or this could be some kind of a headgear.
Video isn't.
Boy, I wish I could stop it right. Oh, come on. There, okay. So if we zoom in a little further, now you can really see the muscle. And you can see the nail bend. You can see the other arm swinging. You can see it swing. One thing about, I think there's multiple different types of Bigfoot. But one thing I've noticed, though, I've seen blonde ones, I've seen brown ones, I've seen dark brown ones or black ones, and I've seen a silver gray one. Supposedly there's a red, I think I've seen a red one too. But the black ones, black or dark brown ones, they're about the same width as they are height. If they're 8 feet tall, they're about 5 or 6 feet wide. Very barrel chested, just big, huge animals. They're more like a gorilla than anything else. And this shows that perfectly. I mean, you look at the back. I think this would be very hard to fake unless you had quite a bit of money to do this. And I don't think this gentleman was that well off. So let's watch the rest of this.
Is incredibly clear.
and then you see it walk behind. There's better videos of this where you see it's more stabilized, it's not as pixelated, but that's pretty interesting. I don't think that's hoaxed. I think that's possibly real. I can't say 100% for sure. I was not there. I don't know all the circumstances behind it. I have watched this video multiple times, and I've heard all the information about the guy that shot the video. He was very credible, very passionate about Bigfoot and stuff like that. And then I don't really believe that he would fake something like that. So let's move on. All right. This one, on the other hand, I'm not so sure about. This guy, I watched, there's a full YouTube video about different Bigfoot body parts. This guy, he's very, I'm not trying to judge him, but he's very defensive. And, either he's really had some, people really get on him and tell him, he's a liar and all this other stuff, or he's got a real product and he's being defensive because he's trying to protect what he has. But he always says, "I don't need your help." And I mean, if you watch the full video, the video itself, what he's presenting is amazing, but the way he presents it is really turns you off and makes you feel like he's lying. If he came out and said, "Hey, look, so let me read this to you. Hunter Peter shows real Bigfoot head his father discovered in 1953. It says clearing up the rumors and proving all the haters wrong. Bigfoot is real and you are not involved." And that's what he is. He's very standoffish. He's very defensive, which, unfortunately, it sounds like he's had a lot of bad experiences with people just really, beating him up and telling him it's fake and stuff like that. And so he's basically pushed everybody away, which really sucks. I'd really love to reach out to him and say, "Hey, I know he doesn't want help. I know he doesn't want people basically looking at the thing, but I would love to get and have an opportunity to talk to him, maybe on the podcast or whatever, and have him tell his story. And where he doesn't have to feel defensive and feel like everybody's hating on him. I would love to have him just be relaxed and have, a full-on conversation with him and let him tell his story and let him actually talk about the head and talk about the different body parts. He shows the foot in one video, he shows the head in another. So let's watch this. This is pretty interesting.
With the Bigfoot head, and there's been several people asking me to do things with the Bigfoot head, and they'll pay me money, and I'm not going to do that. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Now, as far as length goes, the head itself is like 28 inches long. You're looking at 18 inches wide. So if I hear one more person say, "Go get deep."
Okay. So essentially, let me give you the backstory. His dad and another gentleman were out hunting back in 1953. I guess they were elk hunting or something like that, and they came across this creature, and they actually had the wherewithal to actually shoot it. And I guess they shot it a couple times, and it went down. And they said and this is in his video. You can go watch his video in his own words. Essentially, it was too big to carry back, so they cut it into pieces and then brought it home, put it in the freezer. And he's been holding on to this for however long, and now he's just coming out and basically saying, "Here, look, this is what I've got." When this is bigger, you can see it better. What's interesting is when you look at it this way, I've never really stopped the other video. You can actually see what looks like muscles, like if you were to cut a person open, and you would see like muscle and tissue, or animal open, you see tissue and stuff like that. You see tendons and stuff that have been cut, and then basically the only problem with this is it looks like in the actual video that I saw, it looks like a piece of PVC pipe is coming out the bottom. And that's, that could be the lyrics. We don't know much. We don't know anything really about Bigfoots. We don't know if they have a stomach like we do. We don't know how they don't know how their interior is. We don't know if they're very similar to ours, if they're completely different. And nobody can tell me that I'm wrong, because basically, essentially, I've never seen an autopsy on a Bigfoot before. So unless you've done one, please come on here and we'll watch the autopsy together. Anyways, so, and then the head itself looks a little plasticky. You can't really see eyes or anything like that. Let me go back to where it looks like the front. Okay, so now we're looking at the head. I understand I think this came out in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. So let's just say it came out in the 2000s. So that's almost 50 years of being in a freezer. And over time, that is just going to deteriorate. The muscle and the skin and the fur and everything. Well, hair doesn't really deteriorate. That's about the only thing that doesn't deteriorate. In fact, hair continues to grow even after either the animal's head or even humans. But you do kind of see a mouth, what looks like a mouth and some teeth. And then I don't know what this is. Maybe it's where the eye was, but there's no defined ear. It's just hard to see, essentially. It would have been nice if they had brought the camera in and kind of focused in on the head and shown us different features of the body, shown us the bottom of this. They kind of show you something, then basically, and they move away. They don't really get close to anything, so you can't really make out anything. It would have been really cool to see the mouth, because you can kind of see the mouth. You can see teeth in there, and stuff like that. So let's watch the end of this.
Just wide. So if I hear one.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I didn't realize that was actually on here, but he curses quite a bit. So just FYI, if you're watching this, I apologize. I have to figure out how to blur that out or whatever. So just I apologize for his bad language. If I had known that was on here, I would not have played that. Anyways, yeah, he curses quite a bit. He tells people he's tired of hearing about it and blah blah blah. And so, but he's never really, nobody's ever really scientifically come out and looked at this body that I know of. He says in his video, and I don't remember exactly when these videos came out. I have plans. I'm gonna come out and have my own show and all this other stuff. I'll prove everybody wrong, but he never did. So I don't know what happened with that. I would love to have seen him come out in public and say, okay, here, come take a look, and to experts in the field at that time. So I'm not going to continue on with him. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the news. We'll get into more of this next week. I will try and get the Bigfoot only podcast out later today, if not tomorrow. Today is Friday, so I'm hoping to get it out today. And then, so we've done the paranormal news. We've done Anything Goes. No, we did the cryptid only podcast. We've done the cryptid only. We've done the paranormal news. So we'll do the Bigfoot only. And then we'll probably follow that up on Sunday with the Anything Goes Paranormal podcast. I may change the name of that to something else. People have been kind of giving me some feedback. If you have a different type of podcast that you want to hear, like conspiracy theories or stuff like that, or just like the aliens and UFOs or whatever, we can do that podcast too. And of course, Amanda does her ghost stories, which I'm hoping she'll come back on here soon and do those shows. So anyways, we appreciate you guys coming on here and listening and watching our YouTube videos or Rumble videos. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below. And please do me a favor, give us a thumbs up if you're on a Rumble or on our any of our podcasts, audio or video. It really helps us to continue to get seen and help more people find our podcast and other videos. And again, we appreciate you. If you want to donate to us and help us out, or you want to be part of the Bigfoot show, please feel free to contact me. All the information's down in the description below here. And we will catch you guys on the next one.